Buying a home may be one of the biggest decisions you make in life. The process can be long and always complicated. Learn about and understand the mortgage industry every Saturday morning at 9 on Big 95.3. It's time for Mortgage Sense with Kevin, a common sense approach to mortgages. Kevin Blair brings his years of mortgage experience to give you the knowledge to make confident decisions. Here's Kevin Blair.
Good morning, Chattanooga. How's everybody doing this morning? Welcome to Mortgage Sense with Kevin, a common sense approach to mortgages. It's here on a fine Saturday morning. We've gone through the blizzard of 2018, I guess, and we've lived through it. With me today, of course, as always, I have my Beth Mansell, my partner in crime here. Good morning, Beth.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing fantastic, I think. And we've got two special guests with us this morning. We have Miss Allie and Mr. Jay Robinson with the Robinson team of Keller Williams. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody this morning?
We're great. Glad to be here.
Well,
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to have some fun this morning. I've got to ask, and we started the show last Saturday, and I've got to ask, it's not a sports show. It's not a sports talk show, but did you watch the games this weekend? Are you a football fan?
Oh, yes. We watch the games.
The Minnesota game was you know what? I've been a football fan forever, and my Cowboys, and Jay, I'm going to mention my Cowboys every show, okay? My Cowboys are out of it, but was that not an ending of all endings?
Never seen anything like it, and I think Minnesota's lost more Super Bowls than any other team. Maybe the Bills.
Except for the Bills.
So it's good to see Minnesota have a win.
It is,
you know?
And quite frankly, me being a Dallas Cowboy fan, I can't stand the thought of Philadelphia Eagles going to the Super Bowl. So I'm going to be a Minnesota Vikings fan for the rest of the year. Well, guys, thank you. I always start the show by doing a couple things, and the first thing we do is we thank our sponsors. We can't be here without our sponsors. Milligan Reynolds Title, those ladies take care of us. They do a great job over there. They've been in business for over 80 years. They turn things around. Carrie does a marvelous job taking care of us. Then we've got Pediatric Dentistry of Chattanooga, Dr. Jason Blair and Dr. Chad Aislinger. And, yes, Dr. Jason Blair is my son, which just blows my mind that I have a doctor in the family. And we're very proud of Dr. Jason, which is still weird to say. And then we have Jason Jason Engel with Goss Insurance. Jason takes care of us, and he does a great job with all of our clients. Guys, what we're trying to do and what we want to do, we all live here. We all shop here. We all buy here. We all go to church here. We all have raised kids here. We all have family here. This is our community. And I know, just like getting to know you two, we want to be an asset to our community. I want to be able to provide great information every single week in and week out. I don't want it to be, never will it be, a sales show. I don't want it to be sales. This is great. Kevin's great. Beth's great. The Blair Smiles team is great. Element's great. Keller Williams is great. I don't want it to be that. I want us to provide great information because we want to be an asset to our community. We happen to deal with the biggest transaction that people make in their lifetimes. And I know, getting to know you two, I know y'all feel the same way, that we take this serious. Mm-hmm. So we want to start, and we want to hear about you. So, Jay, I'm going to put the floor on you. How long have you been in business?
I got my license 30 years ago.
30 years ago.
Mm-hmm. I was licensed in Arkansas first, and Texas, and then Tennessee, and then Georgia.
Well, Allie's not even 30, is she?
I knew I liked you for a reason.
Well, of course. How long have you been in the Chattanooga area?
Came back to Chattanooga in 1995.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's about when we hit. Yeah, we hit here in 94. We moved to Atlanta from Dallas. We're from Dallas, Texas. We moved to Atlanta in 91, then moved to Chattanooga in 94.
Much different town now than it was then.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And coming through here as a kid, we did some vacation. And, of course, even from Texas, we came through here. And Chattanooga is a different place. It really is. Tell us about your business.
Well, our business is basically referral and past client driven.
Right.
We're very blessed to mostly work with people that are referred to us, or name recognition, or past clients. We do a lot of advertising. We do a lot of marketing. We really push the properties that we have listed. Last year we did right at 195 transactions.
Wow.
And it was right at 90 million. I think
Congratulations.
It was 89,800,000.
That's a great year.
Well, that's a number that I didn't think we could ever do. I
Have
didn't
you
think
ever-
anybody could ever do that.
Have you ever hit it before? Is that your biggest year
That's
ever?
our best year ever,
Fantastic.
by far.
Good deal. What about you, Allie?
I moved to the Chattanooga area in '91
Okay.
and spent many years in the restaurant industry, but got started into real estate in 2004. So been
Fantastic.
selling ever since. Yeah.
Now, you guys obviously have a team.
Yes.
Okay. How many is on your team?
We do. We have 5 buyer's agents and we have 4 support staff.
Four.
We have a pending coordinator. We have a listing coordinator. I have a listing assistant, and then we have an operations manager.
Okay.
And-
So let's tell the listeners the difference between a buying agent and a listing agent.
Well, I'm a buyer's agent.
You're a
That's
buyer's agent.
Primarily what I do.
Okay.
So a buyer's agent takes a buyer from start to finish through the process and actually in the field showing property.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that you do when you get a buyer's agent,
You get them pre-qualified.
you get them. See, I just
perfect, Allie. We
perfect
didn't have to
answer.
prep her for
Didn't
that,
even
did
have to
we?
prep her for that one. and preferably she gets that done through Element for funding and the Blair Smiles team.
There you
Absolutely,
go. There you go.
absolutely.
That's right.
Do you work just with buyers agents, or do you ever do anything on the listing side?
I have been in the business long enough to have some repeat business,
Okay.
people that are either buying a larger home or a second home or maybe retiring and buying a smaller home. And so in those instances, if I sold them the property, they will contact me to come back and list that property and then help them purchase whatever that next step may be.
You know, there's something about getting a call back after doing a transaction because it's typically 3 to 5 years. National Association of Realtors tells us that it's 3 to 5 years average of people stay in their homes. Isn't it nice when people come back to us? It's nice when they refer their families, they refer their friends. We are now doing loans for people's kids that have gone through college. We've seen them while we closed their loan while they were in high school. They've gone through college, and now their parents are sending them back to us, and you've got to work with Kevin. You got to work with Kevin and Stacy. They took care of us. To be able to build a business like that, to have the year that you just had this year, you don't do that the first year. You
Right.
don't do that by not taking care of people.
Correct.
Well, probably 80% of our business last year was personal referral or past clients. There are some clients that I have in Chattanooga that I've sold 5 or 6 homes to. There are some homes in Chattanooga I've sold 5 and 6 times.
Wow.
So we've been very fortunate, and people know what they're going to get when they come to us. And ultimately, we're problem solvers. We don't just sell real estate. I mean, that's kind of what it looks like on the surface. But what we do is broker change in people's lives. Somebody's moving from one situation to another situation. It could be a good thing. They're having kids, job promotion.
That's right.
Or it could be a bad thing. It could be divorce, or it could be a transfer out of town. But ultimately, we are the conduit in the change in their lives from one location to another. So we look at ourselves as change brokers, and that's a huge responsibility.
It is a huge responsibility, but don't you love it?
I do. I love it.
I can't imagine doing anything else, Jay.
Me
I can't. I'm just started my 18th year in the mortgage business, and I can't imagine doing anything else. I mean, it's stressful, it's exciting, but I can't think of doing anything else. I mean, I do love what we do. Who handles the listings in y'all's?
I do.
You do?
I
Okay.
primarily work with sellers,
Okay.
and that's what I do best. And by being referral based, we're pretty broad based. We sell property all over Southeast Tennessee. We'll go down into North Georgia and Catoosa, Walker, and Dade. We really don't go any further than that.
Okay.
Occasionally, we'll do a transaction in Bradley County or Sequatchie County. We've got a big piece of property listed in Marion County right now. But our average sales price is in the mid 400s and has been for years. We'll sell 20 or 30 homes above 800 or 900,000, but we also in the last 2 years have sold 200 below 400,000, which is bread and butter.
That's right.
So it doesn't matter. Last year I think we did a $20,000 transaction, and we did a $1,850,000 transaction.
Now, from the financial side, The $20,000 transaction was a harder transaction than the $1.8 million.
That's a good point. A lot of times they are harder than the 1.8 million.
For whatever reason, it does work out that way. Allie, what do you love about this business?
I love to help people. I like the process of showing property,
Right.
but I like meeting new people that are moving to our city. I like introducing them to all that the city has to offer, and I think when people meet me, they can tell very quickly that I love the city, and it's infectious. So
It is, and it's an easy city to sell.
It is.
We are in the process of creating on our BlairSmilesTeam.com website. We're getting ready to launch another one, and it is going to be called
Passport to
Chattanooga, with all kinds of things. We've got a Living in Chattanooga portion of our website now that's got hundreds of restaurants. It's got all the cities. It's got all the different government parts of the cities. And it's a great tool to use, not just in the mortgage side of it, but it's a great tool. But we're creating this Passport to Chattanooga for other people that are coming to Chattanooga to offer different things for it. Tell you what, we're going to take a quick break. We want to thank 95.3 Chattanooga's Greatest Hits. We are the Blair Smiles team at Element Funding. And Beth, how do they reach us?
You can reach us at 423-488-7571, and of course at our website at blairsmilesteam.com.
Okay, Allie, Jay, how do they reach you guys?
you can find us on the web at robinsonteam.com, and our office number is 423-664-1900.
We're going to come back for a break, and I want to talk about y'all's specialty and what you do best.
Mortgage Sense with Kevin. We'll be right back on Big 95.3. Welcome back to Mortgage Sense with Kevin, a common sense approach to mortgages. Here's Kevin Blair.
Hello again, Kevin Blair with Mortgage Sense with Kevin, a common sense approach to mortgages. We are the Blair Smiles team with Element Funding. And as it's my favorite son-in-law, Jared Dobbs. Jared Dobbs tells me I need to mention our website more often. I need to mention our phone number more often. So, Jared, here it is for you. You can get us at blairsmilesteam.com. That's BLAIRSMILESTEAM.com. You can reach us at 488-7571. And as Allie can attest, I answer text. That is my text number. That's my phone number. That's our cell number. That's our office number. And Allie, I'd answer it 7 days a week, don't I?
Absolutely.
And probably text a little bit too much than I should. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I do text constantly. And I was just telling Allie before we started this morning that if she ever answers a text from Beth at 8 o'clock at night, be prepared to go for a couple of hours. Is that not true?
Aren't you glad I'm working?
I am.
Working hard.
I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed. Jay, I have been unbelievably blessed with our team. We have 7 people on our team. Stacy Miles and I have been working together now for 9 years. And in fact, next week will be 9 years. And I keep saying that she's forgotten more about mortgages than I know. She keeps us straight. The one I was telling you outside that we just kind of stay away from, that's Stacy Miles in our office. And I'm being facetious, but we have surrounded ourselves with great people, and it really makes my life very easy. It makes me look very good. We have I keep saying this, and I will continue to say it. We've closed over 1,400 transactions in the last 7 years, and we've only had 2 loans turned down in underwriting. What we do, we take our business very serious, and we talk a lot about on our show here about the right way to do mortgages, because there is a right way, and there is a correct way, and there's an honest way. There's a game in this business that I hate, and I refuse to play that game, because the only way we got to 1,400 transactions is people keep coming back to us. There's no way to close 200 or 300 new loans every single year. You've got to have people that are keep feeding us, and it's great to be able to do a good job. And to do that, you've got to surround yourself by a good team. Teased at the end of the break, we wanted to hear about your guys' specialty. Not your specialty. I know what your specialty is, but what makes y'all different?
Well, on our team, when you talk about stability, we've got 2 employees on our team that have been with me for 14 years.
Wow.
We don't have a lot of turnover, a lot of consistency. I'm very difficult to work for because I'm very demanding, but I'm also hands off. If you do what you say you're going to do, you're going to work out well with us.
Beth, does that sound familiar?
Very familiar.
You know.
Very, very familiar.
And the key gauge in our business is we've never been involved in any litigation in 30 years or had a Tennessee complaint filed against us. So,
Fantastic.
you know, we also look for that quality of business because that's the most important thing. You know, if a real estate transaction or doing a mortgage was easy, you know, you could go online and do it.
That's right.
You know, or you could hire any agent to do it. If you think that there is a possibility that something may go wrong in the mortgage process or in the real estate process, you need a professional. You need somebody that's a problem solver. You know, there's 1,700 real estate agents in Chattanooga, which is probably 700 or 800 too many. And you know, and they're doing very few transactions.
That's right.
But if you think everything's going to go perfect, you can do it with anybody. Do it with your next door neighbor. Do it with your best friend. Do it yourself.
Stick a sign in the yard.
But,
Right.
you know, 90% of the time we see transactions that look great, but there's usually a hiccup. You know, there's something that comes up that's least expected. And, you know, that's what we're best at, is solving problems on the fly. And same thing in your business.
Absolutely.
You know, you can look at a package that seems perfect on the front end, and then there's a curveball somewhere in there.
There's
You know,
always curveballs.
whether it's appraisal, whether it's, you know, something in underwriting, there's always something that comes up, and you've got to have answers to those questions because problems can be solved, and you don't want to roll over and just walk away from it. You want to solve the problem and move on.
And it's funny because bad news, I'm going to give you good news quick, but bad news you need even faster. Okay, there's a tendency to stick your head in the sand when there's a problem, and if we hit it head on right away, we can solve problems. I mean, that's probably 80% of our jobs is solving problems. We talk a lot about, especially in this market. Now, in 18 years of doing this business, I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen houses being sold in 24 hours or less. Put a house on the market, get 5 offers right away. Never seen anything. Why? We talk a lot about it. We see these for sale by owners, what in our industry we call FSBOs. You know, initially when I talked to you guys about coming up and talking to us, why should somebody use a realtor versus why should I just stick the sign in my yard? I mean, I know you talked about the problems in the contract, but there's got to be a bigger difference, and I know the difference. But I want to know your take on that.
Well, with the internet, it's become much easier to market, but also it's become, you know, the internet, Zillow and Realtor.com and Trulia in particular have made it more realtor focused and more MLS focused. It's actually put a for sale by owner at a disadvantage. I think when you could get most of your buyers from the newspaper, for sale by owner had a better chance at selling. And also pricing is key. You know, I think one of the main characteristics we see with people that are trying to sell their house themselves is they overprice it. You know, and if they just price it right, they could probably sell it. And they probably need somebody as an advisor, whether it's legal counsel or, you know, an agent or somebody to advise them because things will happen that they're not going to have answers for. But the key, you know, what happened in really 2008, 2009, we found that you had to, before that, you could win the beauty contest and be a little wrong price-wise. Or you could be really right price-wise and have a lot of rough edges that you could overcome by a good price. What we found in 2009, 2010 is you had to be on both beams at the same time. You had to win the beauty contest and you had to win the price war at the exact same time. Mm-hmm. And so we have a stager on staff now, and we found that became very important. We don't charge our clients for staging. You know, we have somebody who is absolutely fantastic that comes in and does all of our staging, and it can be an afternoon consultation or sometimes it can be a month and a half long consultation that involves moving furniture out, painting, you know, lots of TLC. But it allows us to win the beauty contest.
How hard is it to go into somebody's house and say, listen, Kev, dude, you got to clean it up?
That's why we have a stager. Who's an impartial third eye, because I tend to fall in love with our listings, and I'm a fierce advocate for our sellers, and sometimes I don't have an impartial eye, mm-hmm. you know, because I see only the good in the listings that we sell. So it's good to have that impartial third party who's very opinionated,
sure,
and have her come in and deliver like you said, not necessarily bad news, but the news they need to hear on the front end.
And they do. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I've been married 38 years coming up in August. Sherry likes colors, and she likes strange colors, and she likes bold colors. And we got to have that conversation. When we get ready to sell a house, not everybody likes those kind of colors. Mm-hmm. So having and I would, in my business, I couldn't do what y'all do. I don't want to do what you do. That it's hard enough telling somebody no, we can't do it. Mm-hmm. And we talk a lot. In fact, we were talking just 10, 15 minutes ago with Beth. 6 out of 10 applications we get are turned down as soon as we pull credit. 6 out of 10. And so we say no all day long. We're closing 15, 20 transactions a month. We say no a lot. And that's a hard enough conversation. I can't imagine, because you know what, Jay, Allie, my home's personal. I love my home. I think it's decorated great, and I think it's worth more than any other house in the neighborhood. And I know that's what you deal with on a daily basis.
Well, with commercial transactions, there are two emotions. There's happy and angry.
Yes.
You know, I got my way or I didn't get my way. With residential transactions, it's a full spectrum of emotions, and a lot of times it's misplaced emotions. You know, there's a lot of fear, a lot of sadness, a lot of anxiety that goes into selling a home and leaving behind the memories. You know, the residential transaction involves. Yeah, but you've got to kind of get that out of the way, and ultimately it's a commodity, and it's difficult for us. It's difficult for me to do it with my own personal house, or difficult for me to encourage anybody else to step aside and look at it for the commodity it actually is. You know, you're not going to get any extra value because of the fantastic Christmas celebrations you had there. You're not going to get any extra value because of the warm fuzzies.
That's right.
You know. It's a commodity, and it needs to be priced correctly. It needs to be positioned correctly, and you've got to treat it that way. And, you know, with any commodity or any investment, it either has to appreciate in value or it has to pay a dividend in quality of life enjoyment. You know, in Chattanooga for years, we didn't have great appreciation, but what we did have was a great dividend in quality of life. So I would have people sometimes that go, well, I paid $100,000. I can't sell it for $105,000. I've owned it for 5 years. Well, what they have to understand is every year they probably enjoyed $10,000 to $15,000 worth of pure enjoyment out of the house. So look back up and look at it as a stock.
You
got
go.
a $15,000 dividend each year, so you didn't lose a thing by selling it for $105,000. On the flip side of that, somebody has a vacant house. Well, it's probably not appreciating, and it's not paying a dividend, and so they need to liquidate it. You need to sell it quickly. Don't hang on to the bitter end. There's a question that comes up in a lot of situations like that. Would you rather be right or would you rather be happy?
That's
you
right.
can be right and you can sell it for this price, but it may take us 5 years. Or you can be happy and you can stop the bleeding and get
rid of
with
it. Absolutely. Beth, can you tell why he's where he's at?
Hey,
This is fantastic.
I drive all over Chattanooga. I live in Hickson. My kids go to school downtown. We have family in North Georgia, and I don't think I ever go anywhere where I don't pass a J. Robinson sign.
That's fantastic. All right. I want to thank Big 95.3 for having us on again. We're going to take a short break, but I got to say, Milligan Reynolds Title, fantastic people. Pediatric Dentistry of Chattanooga, great doctor, fantastic doctor. Then we've got Jason Engel with Goss Insurance. You can reach us at blairsmilesteam.com, 488-7571. Allie, what's the number?
You can reach us at robinsonteam.com or 423-664-1900.
We'll be right back on Big 95.3.
It's Mortgage Sense with Kevin. Kevin Blair will be right back on Big 95.3. We're back to Mortgage Sense with Kevin, a common sense approach to mortgages. Here's Kevin Blair.
Welcome back to Mortgage Sense with Kevin, a common sense approach to mortgages. Allie Robinson, good morning again. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having us.
Are the nerves gone?
Maybe a little.
Have you settled down just a second, just a little?
I'm breathing normally. We're
All
good.
All right, good, good. Beth, good morning. You've taken another seat in the studio.
Yes,
Jay
in the hot seat.
In the hot seat. Jay actually had to step out. He had money to go make
That's
this
right,
morning.
He
did. So I can't thank him enough for being here. I can tell why he is where he's at. He's sharp. I love it. I love listening to him talk.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about rates. everybody wants to talk rates. Everybody, every day, I get 5 or 6 calls.
That is our favorite question. What are rates?
It really is.
We love it.
I love talking about rates. I love talking about fees. And the reason is because there's a way to do it. Rates are fantastic. Rates are still at a 40-year low. It is one of those things, and I get calls every day. Kevin, what are your rates? What are your rates today? And it's such a wide open question. And I've tried to work with Beth. I'm working with Mike, to answer this question the right way, because I want to give answers. I love giving answers, but there's no way that you can answer that question. Is it an FHA loan? Is it a VA loan? Is it a USDA loan? Is it a conventional loan? What type of financing? What's your credit? Do you know exactly what your credit is? Sure. What is the purchase price? There's so many things that go into rates, and I'm going to put you on the spot because I'm your is it sensei and student?
Sensei? Are you my sensei?
I'm your sensei. What are the 3 most important questions to ask your lender?
Do you have an origination cost?
Okay.
Do you have discount fees?
Okay.
And what are your rates?
Nope.
Just
Oh,
kidding.
my goodness. Oh, Allie.
I had to say that just because we were talking about rates.
We're in trouble.
Right.
We're in trouble. No. What are your hard costs?
What are your hard costs? Yes.
Okay. Do you charge an origination fee, and do you charge a discount point? Okay.
Right.
Now, what happens, I get calls every day, what are your rates today with no points? Okay. A point is a true discount point where somebody is actually paying money to buy their rate down. Okay. Now, a origination fee is a fee. Okay. In our business, it's a junk fee. It is over and above the cost of doing business. Okay. And when I talk about exposing the game, we're going to expose the game because I want people asking the right questions. When people come to me and they're just talking, when we're going through and they leave my office, our client that we're working on right now, we went through this, and I wanted him to know, okay, the 3 questions, because, Allie, I want them to shop.
Right.
Believe it or not, I think they should shop. I think they should get other rates, other quotes to find out. And whether I'm the first person, the second person, or the 5th person, they can tell after they leave me that I'm talking the right way, okay? And to me, that's more important. We talk about character. We talk about integrity all the time. And at the end of the day, I'd rather tell them the truth and lose the loan, knowing that they will find out what the truth is, and I'll get more referrals from people that don't use me, okay, because they know I've told them the truth. So when they talk about what are our hard costs, we all have our hard costs. We all know what it is, and it is we have a flat fee where we don't charge anything else other than that flat fee, okay? That number has not changed in 7 years. We do not charge an origination fee, and the only time we charge a discount point is when it makes financial sense. When we've sat down with the borrower and say, okay, the rate is this today. This is what it would cost to lower it. Now, based on National Association of Realtors, what's the average time people stay in their homes? It's 3 to 5 years.
Yes.
Okay. So in 3 to 5 years, what they say as far as a discount point to actually buy down a rate and make it make sense, whether it's a $500 cost or a $1,000 cost or a $3,000 cost, you need to recoup that money in your interest. Okay, the difference in the payments, you need to recoup that within that 3 to 5 years. National Association of Realtors and the Mortgage Bankers Association say if you don't recoup it within 36 months, it's not worth buying down the rate. Okay, and the reason is because most people sell within 3 to 5 years. Right. All right, so when we're talking to somebody, all right, especially if it's their first home, okay, we know it's their starter home. We know they're going to sell another home, and you deal with the buyers. You know that they're going to stay there the rest of their life. They think they're going to stay there the rest of their life.
So,
they
yes.
think so. Nobody's buying a home thinking that we're going to sell it within 3 to 5 years.
Right.
However, it's up to us to talk reality and to show them, because to charge a discount point, that can cost real money, and it could take years. Sometimes I see a discount point could take 8 to 10, 15 years to recoup the cost of the savings. Now that's throwing what I call, and what my dad says is throwing good money after bad. Okay, so we have to look at each individual loan, each individual person. If somebody's coming to me, Yeah, Beth, and they're my age, and is probably buying their last home. Okay, you know, Sherry and I bought our home 2 years ago, and it probably is our last home. And she's going to hold me to this Saturday Saturday morning when she's listening to this. She's going to hold me to this because she's going to say, okay, I finally agreed that this is going to be our last home because, Allie, it's me that we bought 11 homes in 38 years of marriage. And she knows that I will probably sell in a couple of years to buy another one.
And Sherry, just a reminder, the show is on the BlairSmilesTeam.com if you need to throw it back at him.
Yeah, it's we save that every Monday. It goes onto our show under the Mortgage Sense mortgage blog. You can listen to it. But, you know, when we talking about rates, okay, there's so much that go into it. And so when we talk about doing a comprehensive, all-in approach, okay, a common sense approach, that's the type of things that we're looking at. If we got a family in their 60s, and no, I'm not 60 yet, close. When we talk to a family in their 60s, they are looking at their last home, and sometimes a discount point could help. Okay, it might make financial sense, but let's make a financial decision based on facts. So when somebody calls me about rates, I know that they're just shopping and they're looking for that guy, that advertising that's just, okay, we got 4% or we got 3.75, and they're not asking all the right questions. So when somebody asks me what are our rates today, I'm going to talk about the fees, the discount points, the hard cost, and get a more extensive dialogue going on, okay, because there's a lot more to it.
Right.
Because realtors, do y'all like surprises at closing?
I laugh because, of course, that's our biggest fear. We don't want to get to the closing table and have these surprises.
Allie, it should never happen. It should never happen. I'm telling you, and knock on wood, knock on something, that should never happen. Everybody in this industry blames the underwriters. The underwriters are not at fault here. Mm-hmm. The underwriters are taking the information that we provide them.
Right.
Okay, and it's cut and dry. When it gets to the underwriting, there's very little gray area in underwriting these days. Mm-hmm. It's all done automatically. You've got a person that's signing off on things. And now appraisals do come in bad. There are bad appraisals. There are homes that should not be able to get financing. Okay, right. And we all know that. But as far as the surprises with a deal, the way that we do it, we get everything up front. And people ask me all the time. In fact, our coach, I was telling you about our coach earlier. Our coach, we're so parallel in some of the things that we do, but there's one area that we completely disagree with each other. He will pull their credit and get an approval letter out within 15 minutes, okay? And it says contingent on getting all this other information. Mm-hmm. Well, in the market that we're in today, okay, when I say it's approved, okay, I want them to be able to start packing. In fact, we say that. When we say approved, you can start packing. On your side of it, when you've got a buyer that you send us, before I sign my name to it, mm-hmm. I want it 100% approved, okay? I don't want any surprises. And so there is a way to do this. Now, does it take us a little longer? Yeah, it'll take us 24 hours. Mm-hmm. But we know it's right, okay? We know it's right. And so that way you're dealing with a customer that can buy. We just last week we had, I can't say his name, but we had a customer that's listening to the show, and this customer was selling his home, buying another home. We had him pre-approved, but he heard me say last weekend that he should be shopping. Okay, that it doesn't offend me, doesn't hurt my feelings, doesn't make me mad. Okay, because I think they should, because they all need to get better deals. Okay, so what happened is he called me on Monday of this past week and said, Kevin, he said, I listened to your show Saturday and I took your advice. And I'm thinking, oh gosh, here we go. He took my advice. He's going shopping and he got a better deal. I was waiting for that. Can you send me my information back? He said, and I was telling Beth I was going to tell this story today, and I'm not going to say the term, but it was a spaceship mortgage or a
like as seen on TV.
Yeah, as seen on TV, as seen on TV,
Right.
or a roller coaster mortgage, something to that effect. This is a $327,000 purchase. Our closing cost came in at $7,500 less. Okay, wow. Not only $7,500 less, but Allie, I guarantee you, when they were setting up the escrows, okay, they did it the way that everybody's trained in this business, put 3 months of insurance, 3 months of taxes, and it's not that way right now. We are in a position now where it's 3 months of insurance and 6 months of taxes because of when our taxes are due, and that affects the total closing cost. So when we talk about taking this serious and really getting deep in, we get deep in because at the end of the day, we have a mutual customer.
Right.
But you're my client, and you want people happy. The last thing you want is somebody from my side calling you, or our customer calling you and complaining about me.
Right.
No, we can't have that happen. I've got to take another minute to thank Pediatric Dentistry Chattanooga with Dr. Jason Blair. I love saying that, Beth.
We've noticed. I know.
Have you noticed?
I've noticed that.
Dr. Jason and Dr. Chad, they do a fantastic job with all your kiddos. If you've got kids that you need to take to the dentist, you got to take it
I'm
there.
about to switch pediatric dentist.
I'm shaming you into it. I'm shaming you. They've got 4 locations all over Chattanooga. Then we got Milligan Reynolds Title, who do a fantastic job for our people. Then we got Jason Engel with Goss Insurance. Let's take a quick break. Allie, how can they reach you?
They can reach me at 423-664-1900, or our website is robinsonteam.com.
Beth?
BlairSmilesTeam.com or 423-488-7571.
Fantastic.
We'll be right back to Mortgage Sense with Kevin on Big 95.3. Welcome back to Mortgage Sense with Kevin, a common sense approach to mortgages. Here's Kevin Blair.
Hello, you got Kevin again with Mortgage Sense with Kevin, a common sense approach to mortgages. We are with Element Funding and the Blair Smiles team. How did we get the Blair Smiles team? Do you remember?
I do.
Really?
It was a great way to segue to Dr. Jason Blair at Pediatric Dentistry.
No.
Oh, that's not it? Okay.
No, that's not it.
That's not it. It's because of our 2 wonderful leaders, our bosses, Kevin Blair and Stacy Miles. But forever, Stacy's email has always been S-Miles, which spells smiles.
Spells smiles.
So she's known as Smiles in the mortgage business. Even way back when I worked with her in 2007, she was
Absolutely.
always Smiles.
I mean, she has been Smiles. We've known each other for 9 years now, and she has been Smiles, and she's known. People call and ask for Smiles. I mean, it's and so it just made sense for the Blair Smiles team. The Blair Smiles team came to be 7 years ago, which is exciting. I mean, it's just it's unbelievable. In fact, in September, it was 7 years that we formed the Blair Smiles team. Stacy actually went from being working for me as a processor to being my partner, which is fantastic. It is exciting, and she takes care of us. She really does. Not only takes care of me, but she takes care of all of us. Tell people about our team.
Well, what I love about our team is that we have 7 people who we like to say are in their zone.
Perfect.
I've always said that, when I was a loan officer in the past, that I did have a great processor because Stacy Miles was my processor way back in 2007, 2008. But we get spread so thin working on deals, trying to develop realtor relationships, answering the phone, getting back to people, that you couldn't really give the best customer service unless you're only going to close 2 houses a month.
Right.
But with the team, we have everybody in a position that they work best in. We are able to help so many people, nothing fall through the cracks because, like I said, we're all working in our zone. We create the perfect loan officer with 7 people.
It's I read a book, From Good to Great, several years ago, and he talked about that, having the right bus and then putting the people in the right seats in the right bus. We can have the right people, but in the wrong place, and it doesn't work. In fact, let's go back to when I hired you. We were talking and was bringing you in for a completely different position, and we started the hire. We already went through the process, got you hired, and one morning I woke up and I just thought, the company did me right. They asked me what I wanted to do. And I wanted to build the enterprise around me. I wanted to, I had managed loan officers before. I had managed up to 100 loan officers before. Had the T-shirts. I had the gray hair to show for it. And I just wasn't happy. And I wanted to build the enterprise around me. That way we knew the truth. We knew the good news. We knew that it was solid information that was going to be going out on every transaction. And so I woke up that morning and thought, I know a little bit about this young lady. I had met her 6 or 7 years ago. She'd been in our office, once or twice a month for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, peddling her products that she was selling to Stacy.
And visiting Stacy.
We
go way back.
And so Stacy said, we need to bring her in. And I said, nope, not going to do it. Ain't going to do it. You do the little videos. I ain't going to do it.
Ain't going to do it.
But it's woke up that morning after we'd hired her and just said, if you could do anything for me, what would it be? If you could do anything for a job, what would it be? And go ahead.
I said networking.
Networking. And it's amazing. And I'm trying to remember the morning show here on Big 95.3. They told a story a couple of days ago. And when we talk, and I'm going somewhere with this, believe it or not, I'm going somewhere because I do listen to the station now all the time. And they told a story about Facebook. And so when I brought you in and you said you wanted to network, guys, she is teaching us so much about Facebook and the marketing on Facebook and the marketing on social media that it has exploded. Even our coach, who is a guru in marketing, is using her to help his team up in Charlotte to help him with his Facebook and his social media marketing. And I don't know if you heard this. We hadn't talked about this yet. Several days ago, they were talking about on the morning show about somebody that was at Disney World. There was a man at Disney World, 4 kids, single dad, and just had on the back of his shirt had said, I am O positive. I need a kidney. Can somebody help? And had that on his T-shirt. Well, somebody took a picture of that T-shirt. It got on Facebook. It went viral, okay? Within a couple of weeks, it had hit so many different people that somebody in New Jersey contacted this man, and this week there's a kidney transplant being done. Now, I'm talking about it because it's social media, but I'm also talking about it because I'm sorry, but I still think people are good. I still think there are some great people out there, and I can't wait to hear the rest of the story. As Paul Harvey used to say, you don't know who Paul Harvey is, but the rest of the story, I mean, it's going to be a great story. But what you're doing for our team on social media has been amazing, and I want to thank you. I mean, it's very, very impressive. But you're in your zone, okay? Allie, the Allie and Jay, the people that just left us, that they had to go to work and we're still here playing on the radio. That's how we found them. You found Allie through social media. Even though they're a great team and they've been in business for a long time, they weren't one of our partners. But through social media, you were able to reach out to them and got them in, and now we're closing loans for them, and we're having a ball. They're great people, bringing us great business. So when we offer, we don't only just offer mortgage financing. You know, we've got our website with Living in Chattanooga that is a great site to go to find if you're looking for things to do on the weekends. But we also have somebody in my office, if you're a realtor out there listening, that is interested in changing up the way that you do your social media. We offer that as a service.
There are so many things, not just, I don't want to say just in our industry, but in every industry that are done wrong on social media that doesn't benefit your business. And so if you take time to learn just a few little things and tweak a few little things, it can really be effective. Everybody's on social media. Everybody's on Facebook. I mean, why not utilize it? You have, billions of people on Facebook, so why not utilize it?
Why not utilize it? Absolutely. It's a great way to get things out. All right, let's talk. We talked about this a little bit last week, okay? Mm-hmm. It's still that time of year. Okay, it's still that time of year we need to do some mortgage checkups, okay? I threw something out last week. Tell them about what I threw out last week that we'll do.
Yes, if you call us or go to our website and set up an appointment for a mortgage checkup, we will then give you access to $7,500 worth of free coupons. And these are good coupons. I'm talking like to Sam's, to Macaroni Grill, places like that. So they are awesome coupons. But Kevin, why is it important to do a mortgage checkup besides to get some awesome coupons?
Well, you never know where your mortgage is. You never know if you could be saving money. If you can save money, if you can cut time off. Sometimes you can refinance and save hundreds of thousands of dollars. There's times where you can save, I've always said, if I can save you $50 a month or $100 a month, if I gave you an extra $100 a month this going forward right now, you'd take it. Okay.
And we're not going to pull your credit just to pull your credit. Just yesterday, somebody saw my Facebook post about the mortgage checkup, and she sent us a message. And once we found out where she was, we told her that she was good right where she is.
Right where
There's
she
no
is.
reason to pull her credit. So I know many times people don't want to do it because they don't want to pull their credit in case it's not worth it. We're going to look at it before we even get to that point.
We're gonna have a real conversation with you folks because I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. I don't get paid for pulling credit. We get paid for closing loans. But it's got to make sense. We talked about the young man that was in our office several weeks ago. And we're going to continue. If it doesn't make sense, we don't do it, okay? This is not sales. It is not sales. We have a real passion about what we're doing, about helping people save money. There's different. Jay talked about it earlier. I mean, people sell their homes for different reasons, good and bad. Well, sometimes you refinance because you need cash out. So there's a lot of things that go on. So if you are interested, we'll do a mortgage checkup. There's no cost to you. There's no obligation to you. We'll tell you the truth, and you get $7,500 worth of coupons.
But you don't know unless you look into it.
You don't know what you don't know.
You have nothing to lose.
Okay. Well, I can't thank Jay and Allie enough. Great people. Allie and I are in a B&I group together. She's fantastic. She's a super sweet lady. Obviously, Jay knows what he's talking about. I could listen to him talk for a long time. I really could. I mean, he's very, very strong. I got to thank Milligan Reynolds. I can't thank them enough. These people are fantastic.
And they know their stuff.
Oh, they know their stuff. They've been in business over 80 years, and they like to talk about their basement. It's full of documents for 80 years that they don't go out they don't have to go anywhere to search. They've got all the records. They've probably been a part of every transaction somewhere down the line, all in Chattanooga.
Like Ancestry.com down in their basement.
Then we got Pediatric Dentistry of Chattanooga. We can't thank them enough with Dr. Jason Blair and Dr. Chad Aislinger. They do a wonderful job. And then we got Jason Engel with Goss Insurance. I'm going to change his name. We need to just change his name. Beth, how can they find us?
You can visit us online at blairsmilesteam.com. There's actually a little pop-up window that will come up that you can set an appointment up or a phone call with Kevin, or call at 423-488-7571.
And if you want to go on and just apply now, there's an apply online button that you can click. It's private. It's a secure website.
And you can find us on Facebook.
And you can find us on
Blair
Facebook.
Smiles Team Element Funding on Facebook. Like our page.
There you go. Absolutely. Hey, Big 95.3, thank you for taking care of us. Stay tuned for David Carroll's Vinyl Express. It's coming up. It's a great show for the next 2 hours. Listen to some great old music. Y'all have a great weekend, and thank you again for listening to Mortgage Sense with Kevin.
Thanks for listening to Mortgage Sense with Kevin, a common sense approach to mortgages. Tune in next Saturday at 9 on Big 95.3.